I got a problem. Okay, this is my infamous bandsaw. I was cutting some pieces. Literally this. You might recognize what this is, minus the handle. I'm making a sword, and this is MDF, by the way. Very light, neat wood that I hate. And while I was doing that, I started noticing something was smelling. Oof. Okay, it's not hot or anything, but let's move you closer so you can see it. All right, welcome to the inside of my bandsaw. This is the upper wheel housing, this is the lower wheel housing, and this is the gearbox where all the important parts reside. So in here probably is where the smell comes from, but it's also possible that these bearings are getting a little gummed up with wood dust, as you can see here. So I'm going to do some cleaning on it. I'm going to dismantle it. You get to watch. Okay, first things first on this. It's unplugged. Number two, I ain't gonna do that without this. You ever see me working without this on camera? On camera, really. I mean, you should never not work with this. I have just removed the blade, so we're only dealing with the mechanics. This is a special bolt. It turns counterclockwise because this turns clockwise. And in that, when this creates friction against it, it only gets tighter, it never gets looser. The bolt is machined. This is not bearings, this is a friction bearing. And a friction bearing means that there's no moving parts. It only uses grease to keep it from doing anything. And it is probably the worst type of axle as far as precision goes, but it's pretty durable as long as you keep it greased. Now, looking at it, it's a little shiny, it's a little wet, and I feel grease in there, and it doesn't smell burnt. So that's not bad. We're going to keep looking for the source of that smell. This is an old screw thingy. This is going to be perfect for all the little nuts and bolts that come out of here. Alright. This is the other one. This is the lower. This has more friction on it. And it is gummed up. It's black. That means it was burning. It doesn't smell like it was burning. It smells a little oxidized or iodized. Yeah, this is just going to be cleaned. This is the motor housing. That's the power button. The motor housing looks and smells okay. So this must be a combination smell that I was smelling. It definitely smelled off. But there are definitely some parts in here that need to be serviced and maintenance. So this is a great time to do this. I made a post on Tumblr a long time ago about maintaining power tools, especially if you buy them used. Break them down, maintain them, and now you're going to watch me do it. I'm not going to be able to touch the camera because my hands are going to get really greasy. I just had a good idea. This is one of those, why didn't I think of this 5 minutes ago idea? You have never seen me wear one of these on camera yet. this is the perfect time to start. Not good against super glue, but they're great from getting getting shit all over your hands. Yeah. It's like make that doctor sound. It doesn't do very well, does it? Sad. This is the motor's core, the most important thing of the entire unit. It's in good shape, not a little hot right now. The copper is copper, the metal is metal. No shorts on there, everything looks shiny in here. It's just a little bit of dirt. Now what I'm doing does not apply to all bandsaws. Though bandsaws are pretty universal, mine's a really cheap bandsaw. Your bandsaw will come apart differently. It's going to have different gears on it, if it has any at all. It may just be a direct drive. There are other things to take into consideration. Mine has a gear reduction mechanic on it. That's what this is. And it's pretty hot right now, so I'm not holding all of it. I'm holding it delicately. And I smell the normal motor smell. It's been running. I don't see anything else on here. So it's in good shape. These are where bushings make contact to deliver the current through it. That causes these bundles to give off an electrical or an electromagnet. And only certain ones polarize. So every time it polarizes, it pulls. And when the first one pulls, it makes new contact with the new one, so the next one pulls, so it's perpetually turning. Very neat concept for motors. This is a fan. These blades. This, in short, needs to be in good condition. If one of these breaks, if something happens to one, it's going to get out of balance and it's going to start to wobble. That's bad. This is the rear bushing. This is where the axle makes contact, and it is in terrible shape. This is a copper fitted bushing, and its sole purpose is to provide that friction axle, friction bearing, and it's loose, real loose, so it wobbles in there a bit, and that's dangerous. It's how it was when I got it, so whoever had it before did not take care of it. So they completely ruined the rear one. I can get a new one of these if I wanted to. The only reason why I haven't is because I'm actually saving up to buy a new one. The one I want is like $130. And I'd much rather have that than pursue a new one of these. These are hard to find, believe it or not, because this bandsaw is disconnected. I haven't even found junk ones for sale. And there's no guarantee if I pick up another one that this isn't bad in that one too. So yeah, I'm going to save up for a brand new one. High temp disc brake wheel bearing grease. This is the kind of stuff that they put in tires or on your car. They put them in the gear or the bearings, front bushing bearings of your car. Rear too. High temp means that it could take the abuse that this thing puts out. I don't put high temp in all of my tools because actually this will gum up a lot of low powered tools like your 3rd horsepower tools and whatnot. So I have some belt sanders that this is not a good idea to put in. One of the older ones, like my old Craftsman, oh yeah, this thing worked like a charm. But it's like my Dremel, I cannot put this in my Dremel. It will gum it up, slow it down, and my Dremel will work through this because this is... When putting the screws in any electronics, always hand tight, but a loose hand. Don't give them a strong hand. Now I'm going to test this real quick, make sure it works. All right, if this doesn't work, I'm in trouble. It works. Premature glove taking off. My hands are sweaty anyway. I needed to breathe. That's my excuse. I'm sticking with it. The last step. Okay, already tested the motor is working, so we are good to go. And if I had the smell again, at least I know it's not the maintenance. I've got everything in there maintained, so it's clean as a whistle, considering being that it's probably a 15-year-old piece of junk. So I can continue cutting out these forms. So I can make more swords. And if you could figure out what this is, more power to you. I'm gonna have 2 of them for sale up shortly. This is an experiment with MDF, and I'm hating it so far. I haven't done a full sword like this with MDF before. And it's going to go through a epoxy final coat. And if this epoxy final coat does not make a good enough shelf for it, I'm never doing this again. because MDF is too light, too brittle, messes with my tools. Okay, so back to cutting so I can finish this up. Okay, taking my mask off. This is my endorsement. No more smell. And that was actually pretty smooth. I forgot how good a good how well a good I forgot how to grammar, but I have forgotten how smoothly a well-maintained bandsaw will cut through crappy wood. So I'm very happy. So yeah. Don't forget to maintain your tools, ladies and gentlemen, cosplayers and woodworkers, supporters, and yeah, oh, my lovely people. There's an ending. It's for you.